Today we'll look at strange science experiments you may not have heard of before on Interesting Minute. In 1951, Dr. Solomon Asch conducted a truly intriguing study that was designed to evaluate people's likelihood to conform to a standard when there is pressure to do so. A group of participants were shown pictures of lines of various lengths and were then asked which line is the longest. The study included one true participant, and the remaining of the group was plants. The plants were asked to give the wrong answer. In the end, the majority of participants always agreed with the majority of the group, even though they knew that they were giving the wrong answer. This shows that people often care more about being the same as others than they do about being right. Among the most interesting experiments on this list is B.F. Skinner's 1947 study on superstitions in pigeons. The experiment studied a group of hungry pigeons and their behavior towards an automatic feeding mechanism. The pigeons' body weights were reduced by 25% before the study. During the study, for a few minutes each day, the mechanism fed the birds at regular intervals. Over time, the birds developed superstitious behavior, believing that by acting in a particular way or committing a certain action, food would arrive. For example, one pigeon believed that turning counterclockwise in the cage 2 or 3 times would result in a feeding. By the conclusion of the study, 3/4 of the birds had become superstitious. During the early 1960s, the debate between the effects of genetics, environmental factors, and social learning on a child's development began. Albert Bandura conducted the Bobo doll experiment to prove that human behavior is largely based upon social imitation rather than inherited genetic factors. In his groundbreaking study, he separated participants into 3 groups. One was exposed to adults showing aggressive behavior towards a Bobo doll, another was exposed to an adult calmly playing with the doll, and the third formed a control group. Children watched the assigned video and then were sent to a room with the same doll that they had seen in the video. What the researcher found was that the children exposed to the aggressive model were more likely to exhibit aggressive behavior towards the doll themselves, while the other groups showed little imitative aggressive behavior. The results for the girls were the same as the boys, however, their results were less drastic. The findings concerning gender differences strongly supported Bandura's second prediction that children will be more strongly influenced by same-sex role models, and all these findings suggesting that aggression to a certain degree is a learned behavior. Another bizarre college experiment came out of the Albany Medical College in 2011. Researchers J.E. Polston and S.D. Glock set out to determine the music preferences of rats before and after the administration of cocaine into their system. After administering the drug, the rats could use a set of buttons to change the music that was playing. What was found was that before the drug was administered, the rats had a strong preference for silence. But when silence was not an option, they preferred Beethoven's Für Elise more than Miles Davis's iconic jazz tune, 4. After rats were given the drug, they showed a strong preference for the jazz music. The study has been strongly criticized for a number of reasons. The most cited reason is that the study was done with some taxpayers' dollars. What is probably the largest criticism is that the study had little to no impact on the world of psychology, music, or drug addiction science. In 1995, researchers at the University of Washington designed an experiment to prove how simple it was to implant a fictitious memory into an adult's mind. The false childhood event was described to the participant coupled with true events. Over the course of a few interviews, this false information became incorporated into the participant's true memories so that the person believed the experience actually occurred. The findings of the study became widely controversial as they demonstrated how unreliable and suggestible memory can be. The nature of false memories, repression, and recovered memories is still debated by experts today. If you liked the video, please click the like button. If you'd like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel.